Yes, what is the answer? People have marked C. People have marked C as the answer. What about other options? Some people have marked B. This is influence on. This is influence on. So there is a gap, there's a space between influence and on. Okay, so people have marked C, people have marked B. Any other option that you think can be the right answer? B. Okay, so we have another one for B. What is the meaning of the term axiomatic, people? What do you mean by the term axiomatic? Axiomatic basically means unquestionable, right? Or without doubt. You must have seen those axioms in mathematics, right? So when we say that uh, in a linear pair, the angles come together to form 180 degree, this is an axiom, right? This is an axiom basically means it's an unquestionable principle. So it says here, documenting sciences, it says documenting sciences dash philosophy would be dash because it is almost unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concepts as the foundations of their speculations. So philosophers use scientific concepts, right? And it is unquestionable in that. Therefore, documenting sciences dash distrust of how can you have distrust if philosophers use scientific concept? So can I eliminate statement A, option A straight away? See, people always follow the elimination process, right? Always follow the elimination process. So documenting science's distrust of philosophy. Science is not distrusting philosophy. In fact, philosophy is using scientific concept, right? So science is basically contributing to philosophy because philosophers are using scientific concepts. So distrust of is not the right option. Dependence on, reliance on, influence on, all are positive because there is a positive relationship. So I can shortlist B, C, and D. I can eliminate A, and there is no differences from because they are relying on because philosophers are relying on scientific concepts. So there cannot be differences from, and therefore I can remove E. I am left with three choices. The first is influence on, the second is reliance on, the third is dependence on. So they all mean the same thing, right? Influence on, reliance on, dependence on. Nothing is wrong with the first blank. How would you use the second blank? The author says documenting science's reliance or influence or dependence on philosophy would be dash because he thinks that it is unquestionable. If something is unquestionable, then documenting that would be a waste of time or would be a good thing or would be difficult. If something is unquestionable, people understand this question now. If it is unquestionable that philosophers use scientific concepts, then documenting science's dash to philosophy would be difficult. I think the voice is clear, people. My signal is good here at my end. Voice is not now. Is it clear now? I think now because the signal strength is good at my end. It's clear, right, people? Okay, people. Yes. Now look at this question here. I think it's clear now. It might keep on dropping at times, right? Now, people have a look at this. If it is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concepts, then how can documenting science's dependence on philosophy would be difficult? If it is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concept, then how can the documentation of science's dependence on philosophy would be difficult? How would you fill this blank? Can I eliminate option D, people? Yes or no? We can eliminate, right? Because if documenting, I mean, if it is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concepts, then documenting science's dependence on philosophy should not be difficult. It should be rather easy, right? How can you say it is inappropriate? I mean, why? What is the basis of appropriateness or inappropriateness? So you are left with basically influence on and superfluous. What is superfluous? Superfluous means something not required. See, what is the reason behind this? It is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concept. If it is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concept, then what is the point of documenting science's influence on philosophy? If it is already an unquestionable thing that many philosophers use scientific concept, then the whole idea of documenting science's reliance on philosophy is basically superfluous. Option B is the best choice. Superfluous basically means unnecessary. If it is already clear that some XYZ guy is innocent, then discussing his innocence is basically superfluous. If it is unquestionable that Mr. XYZ is innocent, then then debating on his innocence is a superfluous thing. It is waste of time, isn't it, people? So documenting science's influence on philosophy would be unnecessary because it is unquestionable that many philosophers use scientific concepts as the foundation of their speculations. So we always use elimination technique. You have eliminated A, you have eliminated E, you have eliminated D. Inappropriate, how? What is the basis of appropriate or inappropriate? There is no such basis. There is no logical answer for that. Documenting science's reliance on philosophy would be inappropriate on what basis? But it would be superfluous. Why? It would be unnecessary. Why? Because many philosophers already use scientific concepts. So are we clear, people, why B is the right choice? It's a difficult question, but I think it's a very, very good question. It teaches you that the sentences are connected with some specific logic. Shall we go ahead, people? Let's go and take the next question. Take the second one. It's a tough question, people. Take the second one and use the same kind of logic. The same logic that I used a short while back. Please use the same logic to discuss this. Yes, people, what is the answer? What is the answer? People have marked E and D. So people have marked E, people have marked D. During the 1960s, assessments of the family shifted remarkably. Please look at the question. During the 1960s, assessments of the family shifted remarkably from general endorsement. So it shifted from this to something else, right? So if it is, what is endorsement? People, can you tell me the meaning of the word endorsement? What is the family? The concept of family. Of the family basic means family as a unit. Please understand, not some specific family of Gupta or Mehra. Family as a unit. Endorsement basically means support. Okay. So the question says, during the 1960s, assessments of the family shifted remarkably from general endorsement to widespread dash. So if this is positive, endorsement means positive, and it shifted from positive to something dash, that means this must be negative because there is a shift, right? So if you shift from positive to positive, it's not a shift. But if you shift from positive to negative, then it's indeed a shift, right? So what do you think would be the right blank for the first option? Endorsement, from general endorsement to widespread dash. It can be rejection, it can be criticism. Censure means criticism, people. Please understand. Censure means criticism. Rejection to widespread flight from. Flight from it, because it refers to family here. People, please understand. The pronoun it refers to family. So it can be flight from, it can be rejection of, it can be criticism of, right? They all can be there. It can be relinquished. Or what is relinquishment? Relinquishment basically means giving up, but it is voluntarily giving up something. Relinquishment basically means no. It is from X to Y. From X to Y. This is the idiom. So it shifted from general endorsement of what? Of the family as a worthwhile, stable institution. So this is one idiom. It shifted. So the language is very complicated. That's why you must try to understand the language first. These kind of questions are very common in SAT, where you have very complicated very complicated structure. During the 1960s, assessments of the family shifted from, what is this from? This is general endorsement of the family as a worthwhile, stable institution. To, so this entire from should be positive. This entire thing is positive. From this, what is this? General endorsement of it as a worthwhile, stable institution. To, now this will be negative. I hope you are following me. So widespread is basically what? Flight from, rejection, criticism. But relinquishment is always voluntarily, and relinquishment is giving up of something voluntarily. It doesn't carry that negativity. See, when you renounce something, when you give up something, it's not a negative thing. Why? Because you are giving something, you're giving up something on your own will, of your own desire, not because that thing is bad. So if you relinquish all the worldly desires and you become a monk, then then the problem is not with the worldly desires. The problem is that you have given up something. So relinquishment is basically not the right negative word, and therefore it goes out. So what do you say? From general endorsement to widespread rejection, censure of, flight from, if as an oppressive and bankrupt one, whose dash was both imminent and welcome. So if it is oppressive and if it is bankrupt, then how can you have ascent? Ascent basically means rise. If family as a unit is oppressive and bankrupt, then how can you expect rise? If you say ascent here, then would it make sense? It is oppressive, it is bankrupt, and then you say whose rise was both imminent and welcome. How can you say that the rise of it would be imminent and welcome if it is oppressive and bankrupt? Ascent basically means rise. ASCENT means to go higher and higher. So E goes out, B already has gone out. Whose restitution? Restitution basically means replacement, or replacement basically means replacing something again. So you are basically bringing back the concept of family again. Restoring something means restitution. So when you restore something, you're not breaking it, you are bringing it back. So again, if something is oppressive and bankrupt, why would you need to restore it? I mean, why should there be restitution of that particular thing if it is oppressive and bankrupt? Restitution means people restoration. So if something is good, or if something you realize was good, you will try to bring it back, and that is known as restitution. But the concept of family is basically negative right now. During the 1960s, assessments of the family shifted. It shifted from something positive to something negative. Whose dash was both imminent and welcome. So it has to be whose dissolution. Dissolution basically means what? Breakup. So it says basically that the concept of the assessment of family shifted from general endorsement to widespread what? To widespread criticism. To widespread criticism of it as an oppressive and bankrupt one, whose dissolution was both imminent and welcome. Because it was oppressive and because it was bankrupt, its dissolution was both imminent and it was welcome. So dissolution means what? Breakup. Whose vogue means fashion and style. So if something is bankrupt and oppressive, then how it can be in vogue? It goes out. You haven't heard the term vogue, right? Something is in vogue means something is very popular. So this is the positive word. How can you expect positivity out of something which is oppressive and bankrupt? So ultimately you have nothing but option D as the right choice because of the elimination. People, I hope you are with me. These are very tough questions, people. I am taking tough questions because you must learn to solve tough questions so that you can learn as much as possible. Flight from is move away from. Flight from something is moving away from something. That is flight from. People, are we clear with this question? Is D the right answer now? Are you convinced about it? Shall we go to the next question, people? Let's go to the next question now. These are all very good questions, people. Please enjoy and try to learn as much as possible from these sessions, okay? Take the third question. It's a tough question again. You have two blanks. You have so many words, right? Anomalous, anachronistic, enduring, right? So when a question teaches you so many words, you will not only improve your logic, but also your vocabulary. Okay, people? So please go through these. You have 2 minutes. It never happens in mathematics that you have so many options. Almost people have marked all the options as the possible right answer. Where is the clue? Can anyone give me the biggest clue to this question? I mean, to the right answer? Okay, physics does not creative reasoning. Since the mechanical nature of what do you mean by mechanical nature, people? What do you mean by mechanical nature of something? If something is mechanical, then it is anti-human, right? It is anti-human, it is anti-creative. People, are you following me? If something is mechanical, it is anti-human, it is anti-creative. That is the biggest hint for me. So, in the machine-like world of classical physics, the human intellect appears what? How should the relationship be between classical physics and human intellect if it's a machine-like world? Is it enduring? It's not enduring, right? Enduring basically means sustaining. But how can you have... Right, so it is not enduring. D goes out. People always follow the elimination technique. Always follow the elimination technique. D goes out. Everyone is clear with this, people? Yes, so D has gone out. Correct? D has gone out because enduring cannot come in the first blank. Now look at this. What is anomalous, by the way? Anomalous basically means abnormal, right? Unusual, correct? Abnormal, unusual, correct? Confusing. So this can be the right choice. What is anachronistic? Out of time. But so since the mechanical nature of classical physics does not accept creative reasoning, right? If the relationship between human intellect and the machine like world, if the relationship between human intellect and physics is not good, right? Can I say it's not good? If it is not good, people, then the mechanical nature of physics does not dash creative reasoning. Does not exclude means include. E goes out. If you say does not exclude, then it means include. That means mechanical nature of classical physics includes creative reasoning. So if it includes creative reasoning, then why is there a bad relationship between them? People, are you following me? Yes or no? So can I say E goes out? Does not deny goes out? D already has gone out. A is the best choice. How can you say does not speak to creative reasoning? I mean, does not allow for creative reasoning. Because the human intellect appears abnormal, it does not allow for creative reasoning. Anachronistic means out of time. Anachronistic means out of time. People, are we clear about it? Why A is the best choice? Yes, people. Why not B? Okay, Arpit has asked me a question. Why not B? In the machine-like world of classical physics, the human intellect appears abstract. Correct? You say that in the machine-like world of classical physics, the human intellect appears abstract. Since the mechanical nature of classical physics does not speak to creative reasoning, is there any relationship between these two sentences? Yes, Arpit. When you make sentences, you must have some kind of logical relationship, right? When you say that in the machine-like world of classical physics, the human intellect appears abnormal and therefore creative reasoning does not go well, there is a logical connection, right? But when you say the human intellect appears abstract because the mechanical nature of physics does not speak to creative reasoning, what is the logical conclusion that you draw from this statement? When you mark B, it must make logical sense as well. Yeah, does not speak of creative reasoning, but speak to means basically you are looking for a person. I mean, when you go and speak to someone, you assume that there is basically some kind of individual conversation going on. But when you say speak of something means talk about something. So the point is that option B does not, the point is that option B does not make complete sense. People, are you with me? So when you say that in the machine-like world of classical physics, the human intellect appears abnormal, and because it appears abnormal, mechanical nature of classical physics does not allow for creative reasoning because there is always some kind of abnormality. That is what classical physics feels about human intellect. But if you say abstract, then how can you say that they speak to creative reasoning or speak of creative reasoning? I mean, what is the see when you mark an answer, there must be logical meaning coming out of that sentence. Without that, the sentence is meaningless. People, I hope you are following me. Shall we go to the next question? This is easy. I want you to crack it in 2 minutes, 1 minute, quickly. People have marked A as the right choice. Everyone has marked A. Vishwanath has marked D. Anurag has marked A. SDDF has marked B. Pankaj has marked B. Okay, let's discuss this. It's an easy question. I think people, if you go through it again, I think you should be natural selection. People, can you all hear me? Is the voice clear? My voice is clear, people, right? IM 123 has marked E. Natural selection tends to eliminate genes that cause inherited diseases. Natural selection tends to eliminate genes that cause inherited diseases, acting most strongly against the most severe diseases. Consequently means basically as a result, right? As a result. As a result, hereditary diseases that are dash would be expected to be very dash. If natural selection tends to eliminate genes that cause inherited diseases, acting most strongly against the most severe diseases, that means hereditary disease that are dash would be expected to be very dash. But surprisingly, they are not. So there is a surprise, right? There is a surprise, correct? That means what is happening in this particular part of the sentence is not going well with this particular part of the sentence. People, are we clear? Everyone, people, can you all hear me? Right? Did you get my reasoning? If there is something surprising happening here, then that means this part of the sentence and this part of the sentence basically are not in tune, correct? Natural selection tends to eliminate genes acting strongly against most severe disease. Consequently, hereditary diseases that are dash would be expected to be very dash, but surprisingly they are not. That means diseases which are lethal should be expected to be rare, going by the first principle. Going by the first principle given, what is refractory? Refractory means stubborn. Stubborn means what? Not willing to go away. Akshay, stubborn means not willing to go away. So how can you say that, I mean, hereditary diseases that are dash would be expected to be rare, right? You would expect them to be rare going by this principle. How would you expect them to be refractory? So C goes out. You would not expect them to be dangerous. You would expect them to be rare. Why? Because acting strongly against most severe disease. That means they would be eliminated. If natural selection is eliminating, that means you would be expecting those diseases to be rare. Because the disease is very dangerous, natural selection tends to eliminate those genes, and therefore you would expect it to be rare, correct? People, yes or no? Are we clear about it? If natural selection will eliminate the disease, then your expectation should be that the disease would be rare, right? Not dangerous. So how can you say perplexing, acute? They all go out. A is the right choice. Straight away. People, are you following me? Yes or no? Perplexing means confusing. Perplexing means confusing. It doesn't match with the sentence. People, you must know the meaning of the sentence. There are exams in which if you are very good with vocabulary, you can score 90% in the verbal section. SNAP is one such exam. People don't take vocabulary lightly. Though there are no direct questions from vocabulary, but let me tell you, there are exams in which the entire section can be conquered only on the basis of vocabulary. Are we clear, people? Shall we go to the next question? Any doubt you have? Let's go to the next question now. Anurag, you have a doubt? No doubt. Okay, good. People, the fifth question is also easy question. I want you to crack this in 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to crack this. So people, let me explain this to you again. The word preemptive basically means done in advance. And when you are preemptive, you are basically doing something in advance. You are basically acting smart. So although Johnson faked great enthusiasm, faked basically means feigned. Although Johnson faked great enthusiasm, in reality his interest in the project was so perfunctory. Perfunctory basically means casual. It was so casual as to be almost non-existent. You have gone through the meaning of the other words. Dispassionate basically means what? Lacking in passion. Feigned means to fake. Perfunctory means casual. Indiscriminate means consistent. Preemptive means doing something in advance. Unprepared, yes. Yes, dispassionate also means impartial. Dispassion also means impartial. In fact, it has a positive connotation. The word dispassionate has a positive connotation. It means showing no emotional inclination. Dispassionate basically means showing no emotional inclination towards anything. So it is often considered as a very positive thing. For example, if you go for yes, dispassionate means without any kind of emotional bias. So when you go to an interview and the interviewers are dispassionate, it's a very, very good thing, right? Or is it a bad thing? Suppose if you go for an interview and the interviewer is dispassionate, is it a good thing or a bad thing, people? Please tell me yes or no. It's a good thing. Why? Because if there is no emotional bias in the interviewer, then he would be able to take the right, he would be able to make the right judgment. And therefore, dispassionate is often considered as a very, very positive quality. So when you are dispassionate, though you are lacking in passion, in fact, you are lacking in passion for the right thing. Because the moment you become passionate, you are swayed by your own emotions. And the moment you are swayed by your own emotion, you may not be able to take the right decision. Are we clear, people? The meaning of the word dispassionate? It has a very, very positive meaning. It, the word dispassionate and the word disinterested, there is a word disinterested, right? It also carries the same kind of positive connotation. When someone is disinterested, it means basically that he's not showing any kind of bias. Dispassionate is always of the emotion, and disinterestedness is always about some kind of opinion. So they are very close to one another. Disinterested means basically not having any kind of prejudice or emotional bent towards anything. Shall we go to the next question, people? Everyone is clear with this? Fifth one. Let's go to the next one now. People, these are some very, very good questions. I know that I'm teaching tough questions, but if you are spending your precious time here in the evening, then you must learn something good, right? There is no point learning very simple things and then wasting your time. I repeat again, I have been repeating this every now and then, that when you sit with an instructor, when you are sitting with an instructor, you must learn the best things from him. The easy things you can learn on your own, right? Take the sixth question. People, this is relatively a simple question. This is relatively a simple question because the language is not very tough. People have marked E. Akshay has marked C. What is the meaning of the word transitory, people? Short-lived, right? Transitory means short-lived, correct? It is short-lived, right? So it is twisted by short-lived public events or dramatic public events or overpowering public events. I mean, you are talking about twisting, right? A powerful thing can twist you, right? Or a short-lived thing can twist you. People, please give me the answer. A short-lived thing will twist you, or a powerful thing, or a dramatic or a overpowering thing will twist you. So can I say that A goes out? Conventional thing, how can conventional things twist you? I mean, conventional things may be good, may be bad, right? They can be powerful, they cannot be powerful. Conventional public events. How can you say that conventional public events will always twist you? So people, can I eliminate eliminate option A and D safely? Please tell me yes or no, only then I will go ahead. Okay, so I can eliminate A and D. Now relentless, yes, it can be. It also, relentless basically means yes, but relentless basically means continuously, unyielding. But this is a quality not of public events, it is a quality of individual. I mean, you might relentlessly ask me questions, you might relentlessly fight for something, but how can you say twisted by relentless public events? Does the meaning come out clearly, people? Yes or no? It's an awkward usage, right, people? It's an awkward usage. I mean, dramatic public events, yes, it makes sense. Overpowering public events, yes, it makes sense. But you cannot say relentless public events. Relentless fight back, relentless, you can say demonstration. So something, some kind of action can be relentless, but public event cannot be relentless, right? So I think it's an awkward thing. I would rather choose dramatic and overpowering. Now the problem is, dear refers to what, people? Can you tell me? Dear refers to what? Yes, anyone? To what does the pronoun dear refer? Currents of private life, right? Arpit Jain is correct. It refers to currents of private life, right? Your life is private, right? So currents of private life can be recorded by whom? The currents of private life can be recorded by the majority or by the individual. So C is the right choice. The majority doesn't even know about your private life. It is the individual recording them knows about his or her private life. So Charlotte Salomon's biography is a reminder that currents of private life, however diverted, dislodged or twisted by overpowering public events, retain their hold on what? The individual who is recording them, who is undergoing them, who is observing them, who is feeling them. Are we clear about it, people? Everyone is happy with this kind of reasoning? Shall I go to the next question, people? Noting them. Recording them here means noting them, suffering through them. Recording them, noting them down, you know. So when you suffer privately, the suffering that you are going through will retain their hold on you, right? Recording them basically means noting them down on a paper or remembering them, something like this basically. Everyone has marked the answer B. Can I say B? Okay, unproven. Vishwanath says unproven. Ritika says B. SDDFF says B. What is the meaning of the word heretical? Can anyone give me the meaning of the word heretical? What does the word heretical mean? Heretical means saying something that is against the general belief. People, are we clear about it? Heretical means saying something that is against the general belief. Galileo was a heretic, right? You must have studied that in history books. Galileo was a heretic. Why? He was a heretic because he said that the earth revolves around the sun. And the Bible said that it is the sun that revolves around the earth. So Galileo became a heretic because he went against the general belief that the earth was stationary and the sun revolved around the earth. So you know the meaning of the word heretical. Now, does the word heretical fit here or not? The sociologist responded to the charge that her new theory was heretical. What was the charge? The charge means basically, you know what is a charge now? I mean, I shouldn't explain this word to you. The sociologist responded to the charge that her new theory was heretical by putting out that it did not, in fact, contradict. That means basically people believed that it contradicted. If the sociologist is responding by saying that, people please don't mark the answer yet. If the sociologist is responding by saying that his theories do not contradict, that means people must have believed that his theories contradict, right? You charge something means basically you attack someone, right? When you charge someone, you attack someone. You basically, launch an attack on someone. That is what the word charge means. The sociologist responded to the charge that her new theory was dash by pointing out that it did not in fact contradict. So if the sociologist says that it did not contradict, then the charge must have been that it contradicted. Are you following me, people? If the sociologist says that his theories do not contradict, that means the charge that people have must made on him would have been that his theories contradicted, right? That means his theories must have been heretical, is what the charge would have been. The sociologist responded to the charge, and what was the charge? That the new theory was heretical. This was the charge brought against him, and he responded to it by pointing out that, in fact, it did not contradict. It did not contradict accepted social principles. That means basically it was in tune. It was in harmony with accepted principles, and therefore he was not heretical. People, are we clear about it? Banal means dull and ordinary. Sociologist, not a socialist. Sociologist basically means the one who studies society, and banal means dull and ordinary. Everyone is happy with the answer, people. Can I say that 13th question is now understood by all of you? Take the 14th one, people. I'll just scroll it down here. Take the 14th one. The question is not directly visible, but this is how it is. This is the question here, people. It's a simple question, not very difficult. Please try solving it. People have marked D. People have marked D. D. Many have marked D. What does a zoologist do, by the way? A perennial goal in zoology is to infer function from dash. The perennial goal in zoology is to infer function from dash, relating the dash of an organism to its physical form and cellular organization. So, one gap is missing here, but it says relating the dash to its physical form. That means the zoologist is keeping physical form in mind. People, are you following me? He is relating the dash of an organism to its physical form. That means he is inferring the function from what? The physical form. Isn't it? This is a kind of a Sudoku puzzle. On the one hand, you say that a perennial goal in zoology is to infer function. We don't know from what. He is inferring function, but we don't know from what. But the hint is given that relating the dash of an organism to its physical form. That means the function must have something to do with the physical form. So can I say here that something physical will come here? What is that physical thing? Its structure. It can be the size. It cannot be the classification. It cannot be the location. It cannot be the age either, because age is not a physical form. The size and the structure is a physical form. In fact, structure and size both. Its structure is more a physical form than size. Can I shortlist C and D? Yes, people? Yes or no? So I think D is the best choice straight away. Structure is what you must have in mind. Why? Because the structure has both the physical and the cellular. Size is a number. Size is just a number, just as age is just a number. C is not, C is not the right answer. D is the right answer. Size is a numerical number. Structure is not. Structure is the physical thing. And do you infer function from structure relating the behavior of an organism to its physical form in cellular organization? See, people, understand this. You have function with something and you have dash with physical form. Correct? I hope you are following me. This could be the last question for the day. Now understand this. You have the function going with something, and then the hint is given that basically relating the dash of an organism to the physical form. Correct? A perennial goal in zoology is to infer function from dash. This is basically what the ing modifier. What does it do basically? So I would give you a sentence now. Fine, just hold on for a while here. Just take this here and look at this now. The goal of physicists is to observe dash. Okay, relating the laws of physics with the laws of nature. Correct? What will come here, people? The goal of physicists is to observe dash, relating the laws of physics with the laws of nature, or to the laws of nature. Can I say it's nature here? It should be something like that, right? The goal of physicist is to observe nature. And because he is observing nature, he is relating what? The law of physics. He is relating what? The laws of physics with the laws of nature. So the laws of physics gets hold of physicists, and the laws of nature gets hold of nature, right? So have I justified the blank, people? I have justified the blank, right? Everyone will say yes or no. So come to this question now. A perennial goal in zoology is to infer function from dash. We don't know what this dash is. But in the next part it says relating the dash of an organism to its physical form. That means this has to be something physical. So is size physical or is structure more physical? Structure, right? Structure has that physical thing into it. It encompasses the entire physical structure. But size is just a number. Size is big or small. But structure needs some kind of physical description. The structure is weak. Why? Because there is less of mass, less of density. There is hollowness. Correct, people? So can I say that D is the best choice and the only logical choice? People, yes or no? So people, here we stop because it's already 10 o'clock and I must have my dinner. It's a Sunday, but I did take the session just to... So people, how is the learning? I think you all are enjoying this kind of session, you know. And the good thing is that yesterday we did theta parajumbles, and now we did fill in the blanks. So people understand that you must learn, you must enjoy, and you must learn things in a different way. People, so please do recommend Bodhi and Brijesh to your friends. And next week we are going to meet again, most probably with reading comprehension. Okay, so I want to give you a demo of everything so that uh, once we have a nice batch, we can go ahead. Same time, yes, weekend, same time, yes, 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 same time on the weekend. And people do spread the word about, see, you must have seen how, how people teach English. So I want you to spread a word about us, about Bodhi, about me, so that we can create a very nice community. I will upload this on YouTube. Okay, thanks a lot, people. Good night, and it was a great session here. See you again next weekend. In the meantime, I will keep on putting different questions on the WhatsApp groups and the Google group, so that you can keep yourself. I might take classes on weekdays, depending on uh, possibility of a batch. I will keep you updated, people. In the meantime, you should enjoy these free sessions. Okay, thanks a lot, people. It's just a beginning, and we are going to have many more good things.